Today's youth need teachers, volunteers, and most of all, well, they need you. I'm Doug Edwards, and I'm going to be talking with real youth mentors and students to give you the knowledge you need to be the best youth worker possible. This is Youth Worker on Fire. Hey, Youth Worker Nation, here is another solo quick segment that will help you do a few things in the area of fundraising. Fundraising was not my favorite thing. It's a lot of fun to do if you have a team, but as far as doing that on my own, fundraising was not my gig. So it was always great to have some volunteers, or when I was with Campus Life, we actually had a full-time guy to develop a golf tournament and some other types of banquets, things like that. And those were great fundraisers to raise a lot of money for community when you're doing that sort of thing. But when you're in a church, you're more of an isolated situation. Now you got to reach out way beyond your comfort zone. But golf tournaments are one thing that we found were still a real good solution to raising money. Number one, there's a lot of people having fun. Number two, golfers pay a lot of money to golf. Number three, in off seasons, the country clubs don't have enough people paying in, so they love to hold golf tournaments in their off seasons. Perfect time for you to have a golf tournament and charge enough to where you're making some money. Also get people to donate some great gifts. By the way, don't go cheap. Get great gifts. If you can't get them donated, then find some money somewhere to be able to get some of those gifts, or at least one big item or something. But if you can get a really big item donated so that people will put money toward that, golf tournaments are just huge to build on because you build year after year after year on them. And by the way, bake sales, they're okay, but most bake sales don't do a whole lot. It takes a whole lot of time. Spaghetti dinners, once again, that's a little less money you have to spend, but you have to get people to come out. The one thing that really helped a lot of people when they were tired of doing fundraisers, tired of going out to spend their money or give money away for organizations and youth ministries or different things like that, was the no-attend banquet. And they're called different things, no dance fundraiser or something like that, to where you would actually be sent an envelope and it says, I will not be attending and I will pay this much money in to not attend this banquet. And so you wouldn't have to hold the banquet. All you'd have to do is it'd be a no banquet fundraiser, and you send out those letters and people send money back, and they love it because they were able to contribute to your cause or whatever it is that you're doing, and still at the same time it did not take a lot of effort. It didn't take a location. And sometimes fundraisers are good to get people together, but why not do those things to where you're absolutely just honoring someone or other people like parents or things, and not trying to get things from them. So if you do your fundraisers and without doing a banquet to pull people in or different things like that, that's better. But we stopped doing bake sales. We stopped doing garage sales, just too little money for all the effort. So we started doing golf tournaments. Golf tournaments, once again, more money. Now, if you're going on missions trips, here's another thing. Don't spend your time trying to do car washes and all these things. I remember the first mission trips that we did, I didn't trust the guy that was saying all you have to do is write a fundraising letter and you will, for each student, raise 100% of all the funds they need to raise to go to the Dominican Republic. In one case, it was a Native American reservation in Arizona. And so we did all these elaborate fundraisers and we raised 10% of our money. We were worn out. But then we wrote the letter that the guys in charge of those missions were telling us to do, wrote it the way that they taught us to, by having an envelope, a self-addressed stamped envelope inside. Yes, you can do email now. Yes, you can do texting. Yes, you can do social media. You can do all those things. But you need to do those things on top of physical snail mail that goes out and has an envelope. Yes, they can use PayPal and all those things. But do all all of it, don't do one of those things. By just doing snail mail, we ended up raising 110% of all the money to send a pretty large group to the Dominican Republic. That's airfare and everything. And we wasted a lot of time on those fundraisers that just did not deliver. And so, yes, you can build on all those things, but I know organizations that spent half a year working on their one fundraiser. Did it raise $100,000? It did. But they lost a whole lot of time. They could have been doing a lot of things to help students, to help schools. They're volunteering their time, pulling big, massive groups together, or smaller groups to where they're getting a lot more done. So make it smart, guys. When you're doing fundraisers, make sure you're doing it the smart way and not the hard way. And don't waste your time doing what you're not good at. Find those parents or those volunteers that aren't parents yet that are good at those things so that they will be on your team. Praise them big time, throw a party for them, whatever, but don't do what you're not good at. Get the people that are good at it to do it. All right, that's my tip for today on fundraisers, Youth Worker Nation. Have a great day.
You've been listening to the Youth Worker on Fire podcast. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and tell your friends. Also, leave a comment and tell us what you think. Stay tuned for more informative episodes.